The identity of Ras Master is one of the biggest secrets in all of Dragon's Rising. There are strong indications that we are getting closer to understanding who he really is, because after years of theories, debates and speculation, involving characters like the Overlord, the Source Dragon of Strength, Wu from another cycle, and even Zarkar, there is a theory growing stronger in popularity which actually starts to make sense, not just because it sounds interesting, but because the evidence lines up. There are a lot of discussions about Ras Master already. This idea has become increasingly popular in the community. There is one line in Dragon's Rising that changes everything about Ras Master, a line most people completely overlooked. And once it is connected to everything else known, the entire mystery suddenly starts making sense. Almost every Ras Master theory has one major problem. None of them fully explains everything. The Zarkar theory never fully worked. The Source Dragon of Strength theory felt incomplete. The Wu from another cycle theory is far-reaching and complicated, and has no evidence. Every theory lines up in some way, but not in the whole story, and a lot of the theories can be debunked. But in Dragon's Rising Season 2 Part 1, a very specific line stands out. When Rontu and Egalt are introduced, they explain why they refuse to train humans. They say that the last human student they trained became such a disappointment that they swore off teaching humans for centuries. Whatever happened with that student must have been catastrophic. These are ancient dragon masters. For them to hold on to that level of hatred and regret for centuries means this was not just a student that failed, but something really bad that happened. And at that point, it immediately brings Ras Master into question. What if that former student is Ras Master? And the more this is examined, the more things start lining up. Before going further, newer rumors around Dragon's Rising suggest Ras Master may be revealed, or probably hinted at very soon, possibly even being referred around Season 4 Part 2. It's also been suggested that Ras Master is not the Overlord. That actually fits the direction of the series, which has been moving away from legacy villains and focusing on entirely new realms and threats. Reusing the Overlord again would feel unlikely, compared to introducing some completely new or even something closer to an Oni-like entity rather than a returning villain. There are also claims that Ras Master has strong personal motivations, rather than being pure evil. That matters because it reframes Ras himself. Ras doesn't behave like a mindless servant. He acts like someone who genuinely believes in what he is doing. According to the same rumors, Ras and his master are not set up for betrayal. They are aligned, which is rare in Ninjago, and suggests a very different kind of relationship. This also makes them far more dangerous than typical villain-master relationships, because there is no betrayal at the end, before something big happens, like Garmadon and the Overlord in Season 2. Now returning to the theory. First, this helps explain how Wu knows who Ras Master is. The show never explains how Rontu and Egalt are connected to the first Benjitsu Master through ancient dragon generations and teachings, meaning knowledge about their former students could have been passed down through generation records or first Benjitsu Master linked history. Since Wu has spent years studying ancient knowledge and hidden history, it would make sense that he eventually discovered this connection. It is not the strongest evidence, but it does say how Wu could know Ras Master. Then another detail appears the age of Ras Master. When Vaz asked Doc White about it, the response implied that his age would be important later in the story. That strongly suggests that this character is ancient. Timeline-wise, this also aligns with the area when Rontu and Egalt were still actively training human students, meaning Ras Master could realistically have existed during that period. If Ras Master truly was her former student, it also explains Egalt. Egalt doesn't simply dislike humans, he hates them. This level of hatred does not come from a single failure or mistake, but if their last student became something extremely dangerous on a large scale, it would explain why Egalt completely abandoned humanity afterward. But stronger evidence comes from the Forbidden Five. One of the biggest mysteries is how Ras and his master know so much about him. The Forbidden Five were sealed away, their history erased, yet Ras' master still knows details like the Blood Moon, the Shadow Dojo, the sealing process, and how to reverse it. That level of knowledge should not be possible for a normal person. If Ras' master was a former student of Rontu and Egalt, this becomes easier to explain. They were present during that area, meaning their student would have learned this knowledge directly, not from records, but from direct experience. This also connects to the idea that Ras' master likely had access to the forbidden knowledge that was never meant to survive in history. Another key point is erased knowledge. The Cloud Kingdom hold vast archives of the merged realms, yet even they do not recognize Ras' master abilities. This is highly unusual. If a place like the Cloud Kingdom has no record of it, something suggests it has been removed from history. This connects directly to a larger pattern of erased knowledge, similar to what happened with the Forbidden Five. This is reinforced further by Ras' master abilities. At the end of Season 2 Part 1, he teleports an entire building along with the Wolf Army. The Cloud Kingdom monks explicitly stated that they do not recognize these abilities. Since the Cloud Kingdom archives almost everything, the absence of any record becomes extremely significant. It means that it is an unknown power or ability, but power that may have been intentionally erased or hidden from all recorded history. If Rontu and Egalt trained Ras' master, and he later became something dangerous beyond control, then erasing him from history would make sense. It would prevent others from following the same path. Hidden history, forbidden knowledge, erased powers, it all connects. Another important detail is Rontu herself. She appears more often than expected. Dragon's Rising usually moves past characters quickly, yet she continues to receive focus, dialogue and presence even when our major characters do not. That feels intentional, almost like she is being positioned for a specific reveal. It suggests she is being kept for something important. When Ras' master is finally revealed, she may be the one to explain who he was, how he was trained, and how he was defeated. That would justify her ongoing role in the story, and explains why she has not been written out yet. There are still unanswered questions, like why hasn't Ras' master fully revealed himself, or where his powers come from, and how he ended up in the Cauldron of Realms. But if they defeated him, they may put him in there as punishment, kinda like a prison. This idea can also be executed further. Ras' master may have been a former Source Dragon conduit, specifically connected to the Source Dragon of Strength. Some believe he was the Source Dragon itself, but that may be too far. Instead, he may have been the conduit connected to it. That would explain his knowledge of elemental powers, Source Dragon symbols, and ancient power. It also fits the idea that he operates on a level close to the Source Dragon tier beings, but not quite at their level. This is why the theory works. It does not just explain one mystery, it connects multiple at once. This theory is becoming more popular online, but I made some slight changes. This theory could still be wrong, but it has the most evidence and connects everything the most, and is one of the best theories out there. If you enjoyed this video, Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.